Mr. Speaker, I rise in support of today's amendment to authorize the training and equipping of appropriately vetted elements of the Syrian opposition to combat the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, better known as ISIS. I've been to the border of Turkey and Syria and met with opposition leaders and refugees, which now total more than 2 million people, and I've seen the ramifications of standing on the sidelines of this conflict, such as increased risk to our national security and interests, regional instability, and immense human suffering. ISIS poses a serious and grave threat to the United States, and it must be destroyed. This action alone will not topple ISIS, but it is a foundational element of any broad effort to root out this barbaric terrorist army and prevent its followers from taking further hold in the Middle East, and one day, as they have threatened to do, bring their brutality here to our homeland. Ongoing efforts by the brave U.S. military, in coordination with regional partners, have blunted ISIS's territorial gains in Iraq and have granted some reprieve to persecuted Christians and other ethnic minorities. But fully destroying ISIS will require striking at its center of gravity, which includes eliminating safe havens and bases of operation in Syria. Supporting those in Syria who are also committed to this fight is a necessary step. I believe today's amendment does establish strict parameters and rigorous oversight to ensure that training and equipping Syrian opposition forces does not aid the Assad regime or undermine the mission to destroy ISIS. Recent events have reminded us all that barbarity, evil, and uncertainty still exist in the world. ISIS is the latest front to civilization's struggle against radical extremists, and now is the time to act. I want to make sure, too, that we bring to bear the weight and might of our strong nation in cooperation with our partners to destroy ISIS and the threat it poses, understanding that we must continue to request and receive more specifics on how these efforts will be prosecuted. This resolution, I must remind folks, does not authorize the use of military force, only the training and equipping of these forces. It is the first step of many steps in which Congress must be involved in addressing this threat. That is our constitutional responsibility. Today's effort is that first step, but we must not forget that we have to continue to remain involved as a Congress in the future efforts this nation takes against this extremist threat and others around the world. Mr. Speaker, with that, I yield back the balance of my time.